ever. Well, for our generation, well, we're like half and half. We're like, oh my god, a family gathering. Well, not all of us, but some of us. And as for healthcare, for them, like they panic when somebody's sick for some reason, right? We also observe that they're somewhat resentful to our generation because we have easier access to information like the internet, Google. But when they had to research something, it was the old-fashioned way, which was books. Encyclopedias, those big books yeah. So those are some of the things we've observed from watching them, I guess. There's more, but I don't want to go into it. So Sindel will be talking about, she'll be talking about our generation.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Sindel Abad and I'm from Ugudu High School. So I'm going to be talking about all the generations as a whole. So as you can see, with the I generation, we barely got any feedback because it's that point of their life where some of them are in middle school and they're not exposed to things that focus more in the workforce. And having somebody else talk to them, they couldn't necessarily see eye to eye because that's the different generations. Next, above us was Generation X, and then we also had the baby boomers, and the baby boomers was the paper that we received. But we see that anybody who's older than us kind of has a different perspective of things than we do. And for Generation X, I guess because they're at that age where they're already settled and they feel like they're successful, we're the age where we're just stepping into life and we're really getting started. Baby boomers, they've seen it all, they've experienced everything. The I generation, they're dreamers. We're the ones that are putting their dreams to work and it's up to us to jumpstart it. But what we noticed is that it's a never-ending pattern because with one generation, if we're older, for example, the baby boomers might see Generation X and below, they'll say, oh, they have it so easy because when we did this back in our day, we had to do something else, And same goes with Generation X and so on and so forth. Like for us, we're the millennial, but we still think, oh, the iGen is so, they're not grateful for what they have. They're so advanced in technology. And we didn't have that. Well, the other generations are seeing something different. So the thing is, with these patterns, it affects, when we were born, what kind of lifestyles we were brought up in. But we need to ask ourselves, if it's a never-ending pattern, then where can we make that change? And so in order to make this change, we're doing conferences, we're having meetings like this in order for us not necessarily to change our minds to be just like them, but to give us a better idea of what it's like to see from their perspective and to just feel for a day what it feels like to be in their shoes. So I think for us, if we all work together and we put it together, and the millennial can help the other generations because we always ask why, and that's what we want the answers to. We always want to know why. And we can learn from both the generations above us and below us. Thank you.
Just to tie it back to the workforce, I know Julius is coming to end my speech, but just to tie it back to the workforce, millennials are still very hopeful of what's out there, and we feel sometimes Generation X and baby boomers like to shut down our reality. That is all, thank you.
Shut down their reality. We're still trying to create ours, that's why. You'll have your opportunity. Sit down, thank you for your thoughts. I'm kidding. That young lady wasn't that amazing? She's such an amazing public speaker. She'll probably be running for some kind of elected office in the next 10 years. The future looks bright. And I love how that young gentleman was talking about books as though they were some kind of petrified artifact in a museum. Those things and you have to manually, what are they called, pages? I think they're called pages. I'm telling you, pick up a book, go to bestseller, the smell of a new book, something about it. The baby boomers and Generation X, we know what that's about. It's visceral, I love it. I would now like to call upon Dr. Zeni. She's going to be representing the iGen group. And the cool thing with the iGen group is there was a bridge of our Manhobans and the Sinas. So it's got an interesting perspective. as she makes her way on stage with a representative from both the Manhobans and the Sinus. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Zeni.
Oh, I wish I was like that when I'm that age. I can still walk.
Half a day.
Half a
I know
day.
you're all hungry, so we're gonna make this 2 minutes. Our group is very unique. And I didn't know that I was gonna get the youngest group and the most expert group, our senior groups. I brought with me a sample of the group that I have. I have Elijah. Could you introduce yourself and tell them how old are you?
Hi, my name is Elijah Santos. I'm 11 years old and I go to Mount Carmel School. I'm here to represent that school for the Imagine Guam Convention.
Thank you.
Based on the discussion that we had, I basically learned about family and poverty, that we need to work hard together for the community. We need to have a special bonding, and we also need to improve our faith. I also learned that it's not about myself, it's not about us, it's about everyone. It's for everyone's good, and we're doing this for our future. And I just want to let you all know that it's always good to dream, and we can work hard for that. We can work hard for achieving our dreams, you know. So I just wanted to thank you all for coming here, and I hope that you enjoy this convention.
Before I call on the most senior in my group, I would like to tell you that how I broke up my group is we have the senior or the expert, we call them expert, facilitators, which I have about 10 of them. They were the co-facilitators. We broke down our very big group into 10 groups, and each of our expert facilitators facilitated those small groups. So, and there's a very, very interesting story behind this because one of our expert facilitators had to leave her smaller group. And you know who took over that group as the facilitator? Midstream, he had to take over the responsibility of one of our expert facilitators. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce or to call upon a representative from our expert groups. Sir, your name, age, and what?
I'm Gumataotao. I'm 89 years old this November. There's only one way to live, is to be happy. And to be happy, you have to be healthy. How to get healthy? Exercise and eat the right food and love your friends. Love everybody. That's what makes you happy. Thank you. And go and eat the right food.
Our group actually came up with a listing of the jobs. It was a little bit late to go to the next group, which has been waiting. I think it was the millennial group?
No.
That kept coming and say, are you done, are you done? Well, we weren't done. The reason is our expert facilitators had to explain to our youngest generation what those visions are in order for them to even begin to think about what kinds of jobs. And we did not come up with an official listing of jobs. We came up with skills. People that are able to translate, people that are able to, or sometimes we could come up with doctors, engineers, those are easy. But formal terms or formal job titles, of course, we are not it was hard for this group. But nonetheless, they did the job. And they also came up with the support and ancillary jobs. Coming from the baby boomers group, we look at the baby boomers papers and we look at their listing. And so this group, the iGen group and our expert groups came up with the support jobs that were listed by the baby boomers. So, given that, could we give the iGen a good round of applause for doing the job that they came here for? Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the much that they needed to do. They really did such a good job. And so, without taking up much of your time, thank you all and have a good lunch.
Thank you very much, Dr. Zeni and the iGen representatives. Just going to take a look at this microphone. That was violent.